Welcome back to Dinghy Cruising Kingfisher. In this episode, we discover an island paradise. We get caught in a squall and we crack a hull rib joint. Of course, we also go sailing. Enjoy. Hi everyone. We're here at Lake Macquarie, about an hour and a half north of Sydney, for another gathering of the Raid Sydney group. We've got about 9 or 10 boats here today. It's our biggest ever gathering, and we're looking forward to a great sail north to the Sand Islands with a nice southerly behind us. You'll enjoy some of the boats you see today. Some very beautiful hand-built craft out there. We'll have a look at those closer a little bit later.
Oh my God, it's like Pitt Street.
Is that a Drascum? Yeah, righto. So yes, Drascum longboat, that's Rick. I just met him. Beauty of sailing, you can talk while you do it. I now see why Kingfisher is catching him, is he doesn't have all the sails up. As the front of the fleet reached the entrance to the island, they dropped anchor so the rest of us could catch up. What happened next was a complete surprise. A 25-knot southerly passed through, spreading the fleet all over the place. We managed to film a few seconds of our motorised escape. So here we are, we made it to our camping spot. We're on the eastern side of Elizabeth Island in Lake Macquarie. Very windy, you can see from my tarp there. And maybe from the shaky camera we're being buffeted around quite a bit. Kingfisher's fine, we've got anchors fore and aft. We'll be fine for the night. It might just be a bit of a bumpy ride. Had a great sail today, very exciting in parts. Quite challenging in parts too, when we went through a squall and one of our sailors measured it at 26 knots. I hadn't done that before. It was very exciting. There is some footage of that, and at the point where we had to drop sail and just motor out of there before things went pear-shaped. So tonight we are having, what are we having? It's actually a tin of soup, and I threw in a packet rice, and we're just letting that reabsorb. It's very tasty, but and also very quick to make, which is also lovely. Talk to you later. Well, good morning. Slept well, even despite all the bucking and weaving that the boat did in the very windy conditions. But we woke to a beautiful morning this morning and looking forward to a good day's sailing. Just moving stuff around this morning, packing up from a night's camping, and I noticed some damage. I think bouncing over the big waves in that squall yesterday cracked a couple of ribs of Kingfisher. And that's going to warrant further exploration when we get home. We're not going to leak because I've epoxied this hull, but I'll just be gentle with her today. So we're looking at a
Drascombe longboat.
Drascombe longboat.
Yeah,
great.
Called Quiberon, after the destroyer, Royal Australian Navy's destroyer in the Second World War. My father served on.
Yeah.
And
oh wow.
I named it.
Personal connection.
Named it after that. I think.
And made here in Australia?
Yeah, a bloke called Mike Elton, up at, was then at Lemon Tree Passage, did a fantastic job. Because it was built in 1999, and I just stored under a cover.
Yeah, right.
Always been stored outside.
Just duck under it.
Really easy to maintain.
Is it an 18?
21 foot 9.
Oh, 21. So you'd be the biggest boat here this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't feel that way on that.
No.
12:30 degrees.
Yesterday's exciting conditions.
Yeah, well, I lost the furler. Decided to not work. Obviously, just had loosely wound the jib.
Yeah.
And the previous time. Anyway, that made for a bit of excitement.
I think we were all in a bit of panic at that.
It was surprising no one came to grief.
Well, you'd think after a bit of practice we know what we're doing, but like you say, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And the guys that were anchored just get to watch the show, really. The herons getting thrown about and furlers flapping. Yeah, thanks for telling us about your boat.
Thanks, mate.
This is Len and his Hartley 14. How long did it take you to build, mate?
Oh, look, it took me about 4 years, but it was only on Saturdays, and it wasn't every Saturday, so it was just a labour of love.
Yeah.
And
And you built it extra solid, you said.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she weighs an awful lot. I don't know what she weighs, but it's overbuilt.
Okay.
Spotted gum, keelson, sort of double strength, hoop pine frames, and then gaboon light.
Yeah, right.
Fiberglass all over. So she's
You're rock solid.
she's built to take a bit of a pounding.
And in the exciting conditions yesterday, did you feel that helped when the squall came through?
Yeah, the wind. I had the main halfway down already.
Yeah.
When that southerly hit us, and I was surprised how far over the boat was leaning just with the windage of the mast and the boom. So
Yeah, right.
and the motor, the motor wouldn't push against the wind, so I ended up taking the boom and the sail down, putting it under the deck there, just to reduce the windage. And yeah, she was fine after that.
Yeah, cool.
But didn't take any water over the bow, so that was good.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, I had a similar problem with the motor. It was hard work getting anywhere, just being blown sideways.
Yeah, it was pretty ferocious. I don't know what the wind strength was, but it was...
One of the guys measured it. It was 26, 27 knots.
Okay.
Well,
it felt,
gusting up and down, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I would have thought it was more than that, but
it felt more.
It felt more. That's
Yeah.
right.
But I think a true 25 knots is the scary thing, right, in a dinghy. So. Sailing in company. It's great fun. This is how skillful we are in raid. We can sail alongside and just have conversations, pass each other drinks, comment on sail trim and so on and so forth. That's why we sail in company. Coming in for a break, Pool Bar Island. In the lee, we're just drifting in. Wind is barely keeping us moving. But it's nice to have a break. Time for a coffee. Leaving of the fleet. Everyone's heading off and making their own way home. Beautiful Fulmar, built by Steve. So the fleet's left. I'm the last one out from Pool Bar Island there behind me. And we're all heading back to the boat ramp after a fantastic weekend. The breeze has filled back in from the northeast. And so that little quiet spot we had for lunch was just perfect timing. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for joining us on Kingfisher, Adventures of a 60-year-old timber dinghy. See you next time. Bye.